I've been thinking about something lately. It's not dramatic, it's not loud, it's actually very small. I realized that nothing really surprises me anymore, not because the world became boring, but because I stopped looking. I still wake up, I still scroll, I still buy things I don't really need. I still chase moments that are supposed to feel exciting, and yet something feels flat. At some point, I started noticing that the things meant to impress us are getting bigger, faster, louder, bigger screens, better cameras, more content, more stimulation, and still we feel less. I don't remember when it happened exactly. There was no moment where I decided to stop noticing the small things. It just faded. I walk past trees without seeing them. I look at the sky without really looking. I hear birds, but they're just background noise now. It's strange when you think about it. None of this costs anything. No subscription, no update, no delivery. And yet, it's invisible to us. Somewhere along the way, we trained ourselves to only react to what demands attention. Notifications, headlines, things designed to interrupt us. If it doesn't interrupt us, we ignore it. I started asking myself a question that felt uncomfortable. When was the last time something small actually stayed with me? Not something I bought, not something I shared. Just a moment, a shadow moving across a wall, light reflecting off a window, the sound of wind between buildings, things that used to mean something. I don't think we lost our ability to feel wonder. I think we outsourced it. We expect things to impress us now, to earn our attention, to justify our focus. If it's not impressive enough, we scroll past it. But the world doesn't compete for attention. It never did. Nature doesn't try to sell itself. Moments don't ask to be noticed. They're just there. And that might be the problem. We live in a system where value is measured by visibility. If something isn't seen by many, it feels like it doesn't matter. But the most important things were never meant to be shared. No one claps when sunlight hits your face at the right angle. No algorithm boosts the sound of rain at night. No metric tracks the feeling of breathing deeply and realizing you're still here. These things don't scale. They don't go viral. They don't convert. So we stop paying attention. We tell ourselves we're bored. But maybe we're just overstimulated. When everything is designed to be exciting, nothing feels special. I noticed how often we chase expensive experiences, hoping they'll make us feel something again. Trips, objects, upgrades, as if meaning comes with a price tag. But the moments that stay with me now, they're quiet. They happen when I'm not looking for them. A leaf moving slightly in the wind, a reflection in a puddle, the way the air feels just before it rains, things I used to overlook completely. And it made me realize something uncomfortable. We didn't lose beauty, we lost patience. We don't slow down long enough for things to reveal themselves. Everything that matters moves slowly. Growth, understanding, presence, even healing. But we trained ourselves for speed. We want instant feelings, instant meaning, instant fulfillment. And when we don't get it, we assume something is wrong. Maybe nothing is wrong with the world. Maybe it's our attention that's exhausted. There's a strange irony in how much we spend trying to escape boredom, while ignoring a world filled with detail. Not grand detail, not cinematic detail, small detail. The kind you only notice when you're not trying to capture it. I think about how children notice things we walk past every day. How they stop, how they look, how they ask questions. At some point, we stop doing that. Not because we learned everything, but because we decided it wasn't efficient. And efficiency slowly replaced curiosity. We optimized our lives. We streamlined our routines. We filtered out distractions, and in the process, we filtered out wonder. What scares me isn't technology. It's not screens. It's not progress. It's the idea that we might reach a point where nothing feels enough, where beauty has to be extreme to be noticed, where silence feels uncomfortable, where stillness feels like wasted time. Because if that happens, we don't just lose appreciation, we lose ourselves. I don't think the solution is to reject modern life, or move into the woods, or pretend the past was better. I think it starts with something much smaller. Learning to look again, not at everything, just at one thing. To pause, to notice, to let a moment exist without turning it into content, to allow something to be meaningful without proving it. The world is still full of quiet miracles. They just don't announce themselves. They don't interrupt you. They don't demand anything. They wait. And maybe the real question isn't why nothing amazes us anymore. Maybe the question is, when did we stop allowing ourselves to be amazed? And maybe that's why so many of us feel tired without knowing why. Not physically tired, not even emotionally exhausted in an obvious way. Just dulled. We wake up already full of noise, full of information, full of expectations. There's no empty space left inside us for something subtle to land. We don't give moments time to unfold. We judge them instantly. Is it useful? Is it interesting? Is it worth my attention? If the answer isn't immediate, we move on. But the things that actually change us rarely announce themselves. They arrive quietly. They ask for nothing. They don't perform. And because of that, they're easy to miss. I think about how often we say we want a simpler life, but panic the moment there's nothing to do. Silence feels awkward now. Stillness feels wrong. We fill every gap with sound, every pause with a screen, as if stopping means falling behind. But behind what exactly? Sometimes I wonder how many moments passed me by while I was distracted by something less important. How many sunsets I didn't see because I was looking down. How many sounds I didn't hear because I had headphones in. How many details I never noticed because my mind was somewhere else. Not because I didn't care, because I was trained not to. We live in a world that constantly tells us what matters, what's trending, what's urgent, what deserves our attention. And slowly, without realizing it, we stop deciding for ourselves. We let the world choose what's worth noticing. But attention is not infinite. Every time we give it away, something else disappears. And most of the time, what disappears is the present moment. I don't think we need more motivation, or more inspiration, or another reminder to enjoy life. I think we need permission. Permission to slow down without guilt. To look without documenting. To experience something without turning it into proof. To let a moment be enough on its own. Because the smallest things don't try to compete with the biggest ones. They just exist. And if you're not looking, they'll pass you by quietly. But if you stop, even for a moment, you might realize something. The world never stopped being full of wonder. It's still there, in the background, in the corners, in the spaces between things, waiting. Not to impress you, not to entertain you, just to be noticed. And maybe that's all it ever wanted.